How many of y'all know God wants you to be successful? He never created a failure. Failures are man-made. Success is God-made. But a lot of folks, they know God wants them to be successful, but they don't know how to obtain it. So when God spoke to me these 3 words, I realized He was showing me His divine law of success. There's not a single soul that's experienced success that did not follow these 3 steps. The first word He spoke to me was purpose. He told me a person has to know their purpose. Do you all know it's possible for you to be successful in a worldly sense, but be a failure with God? Because it's not just making money or being successful in terms of prestige. The question is, are you fulfilling the purpose for which God made you? I had this desire to go into the mass communication field. I told my dad when I graduate from high school, I want to go to UTEP and go to the mass communication and learn about radio and television, about speaking and all of those things. Because I knew I had the gift to do that. Well, that my purpose wasn't to be on KTSM or KVIA or KFOX or KDBC. I have to do all of them since we're on all 4. Just to be a news broadcaster and to talk about, here's what's happening on Northeast El Paso and here's what's going on here. No. That was what I thought I was going to do. But God was using my gift to communicate and talk for something greater, so that I would use my gift not to broadcast the news, but to broadcast the good news. You see, the purpose was higher. So what I'm saying is, could I have been successful as a news broadcaster? Maybe. But I would have missed my purpose in life. You see, what I'm saying though, sometimes our purpose is very linked to a desire for something. But sometimes we just need God to just tweak that desire just a bit so that we actually fulfill what His perfect will is in our life, okay? So purpose is important. But the second word God gave me that day was the word plans. And then finally the word pursuit. And there God was showing me through these 3 words, know your purpose. Number 2, make a plan. Number 3, pursue your plan. I found out that was the secret to success. So today we're going to talk about make a plan. Proverbs 16, verse 1. It says, to man belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the reply of the tongue. Now, many sincere Christians have bought a dangerous lie, which is to live by the Spirit, we don't make plans. And I know I kind of grew up with, a lot of charismatics, and us charismatics, we were kind of cruise-matics. We had the Forrest Gump mentality. And maybe that movie touched people because there is an element of God working behind the scenes. But the truth is, anyone who's going to be successful in anything will have to make a plan. Yeah, but Pastor, right there, it says that we're not supposed to make a plan. The Lord does it. No, it doesn't say that. Read the passage again. Verse 1, to man. Now here's this. To man belongs the plans of the heart. Who has the plans? Read it again. To man belong the plans. Who did God give the right and responsibility to make plans? He gave it to mankind. He doesn't have the plans. God has you have the plans. God's prerogative as our sovereign Lord is to reply to the plans. But we still have to make the plans. How can God reply to something that we haven't made plans to? Reply implies He comes after the plans are made and replies to it. But we have to have plans for Him to reply. But some people have this strange idea that to walk with God, you just do nothing and let just God guide you without any concrete plans. But that's not scriptural. Man has the right and obligation and responsibility to make plans. But God, of course, is sovereign, and he can override those plans or make adjustments to those plans. But we have to make plans. Nothing works out if you don't make plans. What is a plan then? A plan is from the Hebrew word arak, which means to arrange or put into order, to set in a row. So the idea of a plan is that there is a row, something organized. There's A to B to C to D to F. In other words, there's a method of action. So here you have a plan, or you have a goal. I want to reach this. Let's take a simple one. I want to lose 30 pounds in 6 months. Well, how many of y'all know your plan isn't to lose 8 pounds this month and then gain 3 more the next, and then lose 4 the next, and then gain 7 more the following? That's usually how it happens. But that's not the plan. A plan is a method of action. So what you do is you set a method of action to arrive at that plan. Let's take a pilot, for example. If you sat in the plane and the pilot says, "Hello, I'm Forrest Gump. I haven't plotted any plan to get to the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, but I'm just going to take off and let the feather guide me. And we'll just go wherever God wants us to go. And hopefully we'll arrive somewhere." How many of y'all know that's your cue to get off the airplane? Because you want a pilot to have a plan. You want him to plot the destination. We're going to go to Vector 1 over here. After Vector, we're going to go over here. We're going to pass over this mountain. We're going to pass this valley. We're going to pass right over north of Midland. We're going to head over down here. They want to know exactly where they're going. Because you know, if they don't have a plan, they're not going to arrive at the destination. Friend, we know that when it comes to flying, but when it comes to the most important thing of our life, our lives, we often don't chart a plan. We don't make a method of action to get to our destination. We just float through life hoping somehow we'll arrive at our career goals, at our marriage goals, at our ministry goals. But friend, without a plan, you're not going to arrive anywhere. And you'll have no one to blame but yourself. God wants to reply to the plans, but you have to make it. Now let's take that same pilot illustration. A pilot has a plan. But some things could interrupt his plans. For example, there could be major turbulence, a storm brewing. So what does he do? He realizes, I'm not going to go through that storm. Let's go ahead and divert it. He might go further north or further south to divert from that storm. So even that's basically God replying to the plan. It's time to divert. Sometimes it's so bad, we just got to go back to the airport. You understand? But the point is, you want a pilot to plan, and so it is with you. You have to plan to achieve your career goals, business goals, money goals, weight goals, health goals, marital goals, family goals, children goals. You have to have a plan. So a plan is a method of action to accomplish a definite purpose. Your purpose answers where you're going, but your plan answers how are you going to get there. How do you arrive? What do you have to do to arrive at that goal? You can't simply say, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in 6 months, but you have no plan on exercise. You have no plan on what you're going to eat. Well, I'm just going to eat what I want and exercise what I want. No, if you're going to arrive there, you have to have a plan. All right, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. It's going to be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm not going to let anything stop me. I'm going to eat a light meal for dinner. I'm not going to eat past 6. I'm going to do that. In other words, there's a plan. Without a plan, you don't accomplish your weight goals, but without a plan, you don't accomplish any goals.